jack of trades. So I'm back after 5 months, after a very long time. But today's video is going to be very exciting and interesting because I have got my first OnePlus phone. It's none other than the OnePlus 8 Pro, guys. Yes guys, finally after 2 months of its launch and after so much of delay, I finally got the phone today, and I'm making this video for the unboxing of the OnePlus 8 Pro. So let's get started with the unboxing. So this is the retail unit of the OnePlus 8 Pro, guys. So as you guys can see, it's a pretty long box, and the box is very minimalistic, which I really like. So let me just unbox the OnePlus 8 Pro now. And at the back we have some specifications of the phone. Also, this is the glacial green variant and the 8 gigs variant with 128 GB of storage. So let me unbox the phone now. So here is the box. Okay, so here's the phone. So I'll just take the phone out and keep it aside for a while. So we'll see the contents of the box now, or what else we have in the box. So we have got three things. The TPU case, which also has the Never Settle logo. So this is a normal TPU case. The quality is decent enough. And also the Warp 30T charger for fast charging, which can charge the OnePlus 8 Pro up to 50% in about 25 minutes. And also this is the Type-C cable, the usual red cable. So those are the contents that we get in the box. Also I guess there are some stuff here, so lot of documents. So this is a card for the Red Cable Club, and also some SAR value and some really cool stickers, and the quick start guide, safety information, and an invitation letter from Pete Lau probably. So we'll keep the documents aside now for a while, and also the SIM ejector tool, of course. So we'll keep everything aside and look at the phone now. So this is the glacial green variant. Actually I have been having the blue phones for a long time, so thought of going for the glacial green color. So as you guys can see, this is the phone. And I must say the color is really nice because of the matte finish, and even though it's a 6.78 inches phone, it really feels very light in hand. So talking about some specifications of this phone, we have a 6.78 inches Quad HD screen with 120 Hz of refresh rate, and the processor inside is the latest 865 SoC, which is of course 5G ready. And also this has 8 gigs of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Also this has UFS 3.0, and this has dual nano SIM. And the camera setup, if you guys can see at the back, it's a quad camera setup with the main camera being 48 with a aperture of 1.8, and the second camera being the ultra wide, which is also a 48 megapixel, and the third being the 8 megapixel 3x zoom, and also the very controversial color filter. And at the front we have a punch hole 16 megapixel front camera, and the battery is of 4510 milliampere, which also supports fast charging. With the help of the warp charger, we can charge the phone up to 50% in under 25 minutes. And also this has Android 10, and for the first time we have wireless charging and water proof certification, which is the IP68. So those are really nice things that are included in this OnePlus 8 Pro. And also this has the dual stereo speakers in the phone. So let me just boot the phone up now, and we'll get back to the video again. So as you guys can see, I have booted the phone up now. So I have also set up the fingerprint scanner, and it's really fast. It has the optical scanner, and I must say it's really reliable and fast enough. And also there is the face scanner, which is faster than the fingerprint scanner when I tested it. And here is the display, guys. I also changed the wallpaper. If you guys can see, it's looking really nice. And this has the Quad HD resolution, and also the 120 Hz of refresh rate, which makes the use of social media really cool and really fast, because most of the games and applications won't support the 120 Hz. So you know, the daily tasks would be blazing fast. So social media usage would be really fast in the OnePlus 8 Pro. And in my personal opinion, OnePlus has done a great job considering the display, because it's all about the display in the OnePlus 8 Pro. It has a big curved edge display with the high resolution and of course the refresh rate. So in my opinion, they have put in a lot in this display. So the display is really amazing. But when I first unboxed the phone and I held it, the most striking thing for me was the weight management. I think this is one of the best phones I have held or maybe used, where the weight management was really great, because this weighs 200 grams. Even though I have not weighed it, but then you don't feel the weight. And also it's a big screen, as you guys can see, and it's a 6.78 inches display. So even though it's a heavy phone and it has a big display, but still it's really light and handy on the hand. So that's a really striking thing for me, because the weight distribution is really amazing. And also I went for the glacial green. It's a mixture of green and blue, so it shows green and blue at times depending on the light. But it also has the matte finish, which is really smooth in my opinion. You can only feel it when you hold the phone, and it's obviously fingerprint resistant, so that's a nice thing. And talking about the internals of this phone, so this has the latest Snapdragon processor. So as you guys can see in the settings here, so this has the Android 10, the latest version, even though the latest version of Android, the Android 11 is coming very soon, within few months I guess. And this has the Oxygen OS, which is very popular, even though this is my first OnePlus phone using the Oxygen OS, so I'm yet to use it, but then I have heard a lot regarding this OS. And I used it for a little while, and it really feels very fast, and it's bloat free. And I had used a Motorola phone a few years back when Google had Motorola. So I have used stock Android for a while, and the feeling of using this OnePlus 8 Pro is as good as a stock Android phone, even though the UI of this phone is not exactly that of the stock Android, but it really is close to that of stock Android. So that's a really nice thing. And there are a lot of customizations. As you guys can see, I have kept the entire displays like very minimalistic and clean. I like it that way. And you can also customize a lot of things in the settings. So that's about the UI. And like I was saying, this has the Snapdragon 865 processor, so games you can play any games at high settings, even though I have just 2 games installed, the Asphalt 9 and the Mortal Kombat. But I really don't game a lot. But you can play any game, any popular game like COD, PUBG, or any other game at the high settings, and you won't feel any problem or heating issues. So that's a good thing. And the daily usage would be blazing fast, like social media, Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram would be a great thing. So that's the Instagram. So with the help of the processor and the higher refresh rate, so as you guys can see, scrolling through Instagram is a breeze, and all the social media apps should be just blazing fast. So that's YouTube. And talking about the camera, so they have made a lot of improvements, and they have provided a quad camera setup in this OnePlus 8 Pro. So there's a 16 megapixel front shooter, and the main camera is 48 megapixel, which is the new Sony sensor 689 IMX689. And also the secondary camera is the 48 megapixel ultra wide, which also acts as a macro mode. So that's also really great, because that's the IMX586, which was present in many phones from 2019, including the OnePlus 7 and 7 Pro. So coming to the third camera, we have the telephoto lens 8 megapixels, and also the color filter, which is the 5 megapixels, which is, in my opinion, is very gimmicky, and it's disabled now because it's just a bunch of filters. And maybe even if the photochrome filter was a bit useful or fun to use, that's not enabled right now in the Indian units, but it will get re-enabled in the coming months. So I will check that out later. But I'll also share some videos and photos. Talking about videos, you can shoot 4K 60 FPS, and there's also something called the cine mode. So that's 21:9 ratio, so that gives you a cinematic field of view, so you can shoot in that mode. But this doesn't support 8K or 6K. This supports up to 4K 60 FPS, but the videos are really good, and I will share some video footage and of course some pictures from all the cameras, so you can judge by yourself from the pictures and the videos. But in my short usage, the cameras were really great, especially the ultra wide and the main camera. The 8 megapixel camera was decent, and the 5 megapixel, I'm never gonna use that because that's a gimmick, like I said. But the main two cameras, the 48 megapixel IMX689 and the second one, is really great, I must say. And also by now I guess you'll be able to use the Google mod in this phone if you want, because I got installed that, so you can check that out as well. And also coming to the battery now and charging features, so this is the first time OnePlus is giving us wireless charging in this thing. So you can use any charging pad, but that will give you only 5 watts of charging, which would be really useful at nights, because that would not affect the battery of the phone. But then 5 watt is really slow. But if you want higher charging speeds, you have to use OnePlus's proprietary the 3000 rupees wireless charging pad, which is, in my opinion, a little bit expensive, and also I'm not gonna buy it because that would make the user experience more expensive even. And we'll come to the price of this phone later, but I'm pretty sure you guys already know that this phone is really expensive. So the wireless charging technology is fine, but then I'm not gonna use it because that's a bit expensive, and the technology is not that high right now, and it's just a gimmick in my opinion. So that's it. And talking about the battery capacity, this has the 4510 milliampere battery. So in my opinion, even though I have not used it extensively, but I'll be keeping the resolution at Quad HD, because why not? Because they have provided all the features so why not use them? And you are paying a hell lot of money for this, so why not use all the features? So I'll be keeping the refresh rate at 20 hertz, so, and also the resolution at QHD plus, so that would give you the best experience. And hardly I care about the battery, the high resolution and the high refresh rate affecting the battery, because you have the 30-watt charger in the box. So with the help of that charger you can charge up to 50% under 25 minutes. And I'll be also making a video about the charging speed, a short video, and it will come soon. And also that was about the charging speed and the battery, and the battery 4000 milliamp 45110 milliampere battery should last you a complete 1 day with the QHD and 120 hertz. So that was regarding the battery. And coming to the price of this phone now, it's still a very expensive phone. In India it is coming for about 55,000, even though the prices in UK and US and other parts of the world are really high. So I'm sure you guys know about the pricing of the OnePlus 8 Pro, but considering the amount of technology and the features OnePlus 8 Pro has, I think 55,000 is still a very decent price, if not good price. But it's still an expensive phone, but you get a lot of things for the price you pay. And in my opinion, since this is my first OnePlus phone, I'm really loving the phone. My first impressions are really great, and I'll be using this extensively, and I'll come up with some more videos, guys. So this was the unboxing and a small overview of the OnePlus 8 Pro, guys. So that's it from my end. This is Anish signing off. Ciao.